Hello, welcome to the Healthy Alternatives podcast. I am Dr. Christine Sauer with DocChristine.com. Today's show is a recording of my radio show of the same name. Enjoy! Good afternoon, this is Dr. Christine Sauer, your host of the show Healthy Alternatives, here on 97.5 CIOE FM, with live stream on communityradio.ca every Thursday at 12 noon Atlantic Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in today. In this show, I will talk, mostly with guests, about all aspects of health, healthcare and wellness, from conventional to alternative and everything in between. My mission for this radio show is to help change people's lives for the better by informing them about different options to get and stay healthy and well, so they can choose for themselves which option might work in their case. And if you feel you are stuck in a dark place, I want to tell you, don't give up. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for you too. I'm often asked to give a little bit more in-depth information about different health topics. I'm happy to oblige. So today is the second show with my associate Erin Madden from fuelingforhealth.com. We joined forces to help people fight the obesity epidemic, one person at a time. Welcome again to my show, Erin.
Thank you for having me, Christine.
I'm really excited because in this show I really want to talk a little bit about the root causes of not just obesity, we talked about that in the last show, but and you can get it on the podcast, but also about why people can't lose weight or start gaining weight again. And that is an important topic because so many people do the yo-yo diet.
Yes.
And it makes it worse because when you eat very low calorie, what the body does is it says to itself, I'm starving. What do I do when I'm starving? Well, when your furnace doesn't have enough oil, you turn down the temperature.
Yeah.
So that's what the body does. It turns down the energy. So it says, I better use less energy. I'll not move that much. I get tired. So you feel tired and you feel worn out and you get stressed out easy. You get infections easy because the body is on starvation mode.
Yeah.
Which for a short time is okay to eat nothing, but not for a longer time. And then when you start eating again, the body is still in starvation mode and says to itself, well, I don't know when I get food again. Now I have food, I better store it. And how do we store food? Fat.
Yeah.
So the yo-yo diet makes it worse.
Absolutely.
And actually, you read a scientific study, they did that actually with mice, but I'm pretty sure it's the same with rats, that when they fed the rats a yo-yo diet, they changed the gene expression of those rats.
I read the exact same study.
And I thought, yep, there we have it. Not that we didn't know it before.
Yep.
So if we don't yo-yo diet, what do we have to do?
You need to change the relationship with your food. A lot of the times with my own clients that have yo-yo diet in the past is they never actually fully understand what they're putting into their bodies. Or they just don't know how to cope with situations. Like if they are at a business meeting, they just don't come prepared with what to do instead of eating like a
donuts.
Donuts or a big bowl of pasta. And so that's my that's why I'm here, is to help provide extra solutions to them to help overcome certain situations, especially when like they're dining out with friends, or it's people that just don't really know what to do, and they feel like, oh well, I was invited into to this restaurant for my friend's birthday. I have to eat, like this big bowl of pasta sitting in front of me, or like this burger and fries, when people just don't realize that there is actually vegetables on the menu. There's
you can
salads.
exchange maybe.
Yeah.
You can ask for, can I have a salad instead of the fries?
Absolutely.
And then don't eat the bun, eat the burger, eat the salad. That's a good meal.
Absolutely. Like my client the other day, he said that he went out to eat with his buddies and he ordered these roast beef sliders. And he said he picked off the bun, he just ate the roast beef.
Good for him.
Exactly. And then he ordered a side of grilled veggies. And he said he was full and he felt pretty good afterwards. And he said the server was shocked that he didn't eat the bread.
Now, yes, and that's a wonderful example.
Yeah.
And I often find that people don't really know why they want to lose weight. They don't have the right mindset.
Absolutely.
Because people want to lose weight to look pretty or to please the partner or because the doctor told me so.
Yes.
And that's not a good motivation for the long run.
I tell my clients that you have to lose weight, whatever the health goal is. You have to do it for yourself and not to please everyone else.
That is so important.
That's how yo-yo diet can really kind of overcome the person. Is they just develop this bad relationship with food.
Yeah, or they think, the wedding is coming up. I have to lose 50 pounds for the wedding. Mm-hmm. And while once in your life there's nothing wrong with it, but if you then transition to say, now I'm married, I can dig in, then you will gain it all back and more. And
Absolutely.
That's why in our program that we created, that BMST program, we address all the body, mind, and spirit issues, which is part of it, is the mindset. We guide the people with worksheets and practical help, and that's special. We really give them practical help and individual help, which is more your role, to actually change their mindset and find out what they really want to do when they lost the weight.
Yeah.
What do they want to do with their life? Why are they here on this planet? What do they want to do with the rest of the life? And if you're alive today, you have a rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's really the purpose of your life to sit on the Chesterfield, watch TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And nothing against watching TV now and then, but every day, if that's all you do, I think you're wasting your life.
Absolutely.
There's so many interesting and fascinating things you can do, even if you are sedentary or in a wheelchair or whatever is your ailment. And that's so important. And I see it all the time that people, when I ask them, do you know who you are? They say, good question. Not really. and that can be older people.
Yeah.
And it is sad in a while. And I myself ask myself those 3 W's, I call it. Why? Who are you? Why are you here on this planet? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? I ask that myself at least once a year.
Yeah.
It is important to have a vision for your life. What do you really want to do with your life?
And those are very important questions to ask. I recently did an episode all about imposter syndrome with a guest, and it's just it's very you really need to define yourself in order to be able to plan out goals and be able to kind of carry forward with what you want to do with your life.
And that is so true. Now, for those of my listeners that don't know your show, tell them about where it is again and the name and when.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am host of a show called Your Health Matters, and that airs on Fridays at 12 noon Atlantic Standard Time on 97.5 CIOE Community Radio. So my show is all about interviewing guests, and I do a couple solo shows myself, all about anything to do with health and wellness. So lots of stuff on nutrition. I did a show on prebiotics and probiotics, and lots of fitness advice. So it's a great show. So if you're available on Fridays, tune in to watch it, or I do have it up on my website, which is www.fuelingforhealth.com/podcast.
Absolutely recommended.
Absolutely.
You want to, if you like podcasts, get both of our podcasts and download them to your phone and listen to it while you're driving, doing housework, cooking, making chores, cleaning house, working in the garden,
Absolutely.
or jogging, going to the gym.
I actually love listening to podcasts when I'm at the gym. It takes me away from how heavy the weight is, and it kind of gets my mind is distracted.
Then it gets a little bit rid of the monotony that
It
sometimes
does.
running on the treadmill can be a little monotonous, or biking on the stationary bike. And if you have an interesting podcast like ours, and it's so true, your health matters. It does matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. and that's why I say we really complement each other so well. I'm really happy about that. And I'm very much looking forward to expressing that more, to helping more people like we do now individually, and will do even more, and that is so exciting.
Yeah.
Now, this is a good place to stop the first half of the broadcast, but stay tuned for the second half, because we want to talk a little bit more about the toxic overload and the nutrient deficiencies that people with obesity actually have. You would think they are fat, they are big, they have to be too much nutrients. The opposite is the case. Now let's talk about a little bit more in the second half of the broadcast here on 97.5 CIOE FM Community Radio. Tune in after the commercial break for more with Erin Madden and my own self about how to fight obesity. Hello and welcome back to Healthy Alternatives here on 97.5 CIOE FM or on the web at communityradio.ca. I'm your host, Dr. Christine Sauer, and today my associate Erin Madden and I are talking about how to fight the obesity epidemic one person at a time. Now, in the first half, we talked a little bit about the root causes, especially the mindset that people need to get a new relationship with food and break the addictions and the cravings. And that's sometimes really hard to do, but we can offer them nutritional support with specific supplements, and we have a special questionnaire for that too. But to this second half, we want to talk a little bit more about the nutrient deficiencies that I promised you to talk about, because many people that are obese get told, oh, you're eating too much. And it's just not true. For one, it's not your fault. It's the fault of the food that is addictive. And your brain produces the feel-good hormones that makes you crave the food. So to change your relationship with food, and we know that it takes either a few weeks of withdrawal, or you take the correct supplements, specific amino acids, that help you break those cravings and change your relationship with food. And in our program, the Body, Mind and Spirit Transformation, we also give you hypnotherapy recordings that you can listen to at night and that increase your metabolism and change your relationship with food while you sleep. I really like that. I did it myself and it works. Now let's talk about the nutrient deficiencies. How can it be that somebody that's fat, has too many body cells, how can they be nutrient deficient?
It's either they're eating too little, which can create some nutrient deficiencies. I've had clients where I would grab their journal and they would eat like 800 calories per day when they should be eating around 1,400 a day. And like they would say that they just don't feel hungry. While like nutrient deficiency can also create like the hunger signals, or it can also decrease the feel for like wanting to eat. Then the other option would be they're just eating too much food, and because that normally like the choices are not as great, they lack nutritional quality.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
They lack nutritional quality because if you eat the standard American diet, which is really sad. That's the abbreviation, standard American diet, and and then you eat Kraft dinner. It's nutrient devoid. Then you eat chips, no nutrients.
Absolutely.
Then you eat sweets, no nutrients.
And that's generally what I see in clients that like initially come meet with me, is that they just don't know what to put in their bodies, and like they try to do food labeling or read the food labels themselves, and it'll say high in fiber, and you have to kind of look at some buzzwords and be like high in fiber, but like how much fat and sugars are also in it as well.
Is it really high in fiber? What does it mean? Because our ancestors ate 125 grams of fiber on average a day. And we are eating 5, 10, 12, something like that. If you're eating a lot, it's 25.
Yeah.
It's still not much.
Absolutely. And high in fiber just generally means that it has at least 5 grams of fiber. It's basically like a good fiber source, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be like nutritious for you, because given like all the other information that's on the food label. Like another, like we talked about before, low in fat. That was like a huge trend years ago, that people thought all fats were bad for us. So people,
and it was the opposite, because low fat made us fat.
Yeah, absolutely. So people were scared of eggs, avocados. Eggs cause cholesterol.
Oh, now we know it's nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was nonsense from the start. And eat the yolks.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
and especially if you eat pastured or at least free-range eggs, because I don't recommend eating animal products that stem from animals that haven't been humanely treated and as their species asks for.
Yeah.
A cow that gets grain and animal carcasses, I wouldn't want to eat it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we don't only are what we eat, but we also are what the animals or the plants ate that we eat.
Yeah. Definitely. So there's a lot of misinformation out there that can really cause a lot of weight issues. And I find that the research changes every single year. So, I feel sorry for people that are struggling with weight loss, because there's just so much information out on the internet, and it's just so easy to just kind of like Google everything and have one source that says differently from another source. And that's why us as professionals are here to kind of break down all this nonsense that you're reading.
Yeah, and I mean, as somebody that lost a ton of weight myself and kept it off now for, yes, I had weight loss surgery, I tell you, because you will probably notice when you Google me on YouTube, you find the old video from 2005. But it's a tool. To keep it off, you have to change your relationship, your food, and what you eat.
Yeah.
And that was 2006 I had the surgery. It's 2019. So I kept it off for 13 years, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I know how hard it is, because I struggled for my whole life with weight. And I ballooned out of shape because I loved sweets. That was my go-to. Emotional eating, which many people are, which our course addresses too.
Yeah.
Because it is a very important issue for many people, and it can be eliminated.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to mention that there's a lot of like products out there that is targeting weight loss. There's like detox programs, like 5-day detox program that claims that you can lose like 10 pounds in that given amount of time, and like there's hydroxycut and all these supplement bottles that like look very attractive looking, but not one weight loss product has enough evidence to claim that it actually works for weight loss. It's all about diet. So 80% of our weight loss is going to result in your diet. So you just need to kind of save your money aside, don't even touch any weight loss products, because there's no claims.
It's a waste of money to buy that stuff that's advertised in TV advertising. Is just a big hype. They want your money, and then it rots in your closet because you notice it doesn't work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even if it works, it usually works by weight loss, or there's dangerous diets. I actually have a free book that you can get on my Expertise TV. I call it 28 Things to Never Do When You Want to Lose Weight, because there's dangerous diets out there, like the famous Helmint diet, the tapeworm diet, where
Oh
you
my
swallow
God.
a pill, so you get a worm in your intestines that
Whoa.
eats all your food. Yes,
That's
you lose weight, but
disgusting.
hey, you have a worm in you all the time, and then you have to eat a chemical to get rid of that. And then you gain the weight anyway because the worm is gone. I mean, how crazy is
There's
that?
also the cotton ball diet that was kind of popular back then. And
Yes.
HCG, I remember that was famous when I
Growth
was
hormones, yes.
And when you actually buy like these HCG drops, they were like nothing like the actual growth hormone.
But still, it's dangerous.
It is because the actual diet itself, they wanted you to consume 500 calories a day. And you just can't live off of that.
Mode.
Yeah.
It puts the
Of course
body
you're
in
gonna lose
starvation
weight.
mode. It's a yo-yo. It puts you in the yo-yo dieting mode.
Yeah.
And I always say we have to go back to the future. We have to go. I read a book by Dr. Waddles. He wrote it in 1910. And he is so down to earth, the newest science. You know what he says? He says, eat when you're hungry. Don't eat when you're not hungry. If you cut woods in the wall, if you could cut woods in the wood, you might have to eat 3 meals a day. If you're a bookkeeper sitting in a heated office, 1 meal might be enough. And stay away from the soda fountain. Now, I read that and I laughed and I said, well, that summarizes modern nutrition science.
It does.
Including intermittent fasting. That's an option in our program too. That works for many people and doesn't put the body in starvation mode.
Exactly.
Because it mimics the original way of eating that we ate thousands of years ago when we were hunters and gatherers.
Yeah.
So I love history of medicine, history of nutrition, as do you. So I'm very excited to offer that program. And if you're interested to watch our webinar about that, go to bit.ly/drc-transform and log in and you can watch the webinar. Now, thank you so much, Erin, for being on the show again. It is a true pleasure. And I'm looking forward to talking more about the obesity epidemic because it's such an important topic that we have to bring over the truth.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much again, Christine, for having me.
Oh, it won't be the last time. But we have to end the show sometime, so this brings me to the end of today's show. Please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions, thoughts, comments, or suggestions. My email here is Christine, CHRISTINE, @communityradio.ca, or you can contact me through our website, docchristine.com, DOCChristine.com. And I'm always grateful for feedback. I also want to extend a special thank you to today's producer, Ryan Pulsifer. It's his last full week as a producer here. He's a great summer student. Thanks, Ryan. And you might not know this, but this is a volunteer-run, non-profit radio station. Thank you all for listening to Healthy Alternatives. I'm your host, Dr. Christine Sauer. Tune in next Thursday at noon on 97.5 CIOE-FM Community Radio with live stream on communityradio.ca for the next episode. Goodbye and have a great day.